Hello, geometry. 11.2 areas of circles and sectors, and this is going to be very similar to what we saw in 11.1, only dealing with the area formula now for a circle. So the area of a circle was pi times radius squared. Okay, only one this time, not like circumference. You could have two different variations of it. So pi times radius squared. Okay, on page 319, they want the area of the entire circle. So if if your radius equals 6, then your area would be pi times 6 squared. That'd be 36 pi if they want the exact value. Or 36 times pi, that'd be about 113.10. Okay, square units. So pi times radius squared. Okay, when they start talking about a sector, this shaded region, this is the sector. Okay, a shaded region of a circle. So they don't want the area of the entire circle, they just want a region of a part. And it's going to come down to this angle again. They want 1/4 of a circle. We're going to use that angle when we get to there. So they want 1/4 of the 36 pi. Because remember, our radius was 6. So we want 1/4 of the 36 pi, that'd be 9 pi. As a decimal, that would be, try that again, equals about 28.27. Okay, or you can just type it all in, 1/4 times pi times 6 squared. You can type that all again as well. You'll get 9 pi, which is 28.27. 7/8 of a circle. So they want this sector all the way over there. So we're going to take 7/8 times the area. So 7/8 times pi times radius. Let's see, that is 4 out there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So radius is 2 times 2 squared. Okay, so 7/8 times pi times 4, 2 squared. So 7/2 pi, which is about right at 11. So the area there would be 11. Sorry, 11. Right? So 7/8 times pi times 2 squared. That's the area. 2, 4, 6, 8. So here our radius is 8. This is 2/3 of a circle. So 2/3 times the area would be 2/3 times pi times 8 squared. Okay. So 2/3. Let's see it better over here. Times pi times 8 squared. 128 over 3 pi. About 134.04. Now you notice these fractions, these are going to be related to our unit circle again, okay, or to our circle. Here, this is 90 degrees. If you take the ratio of the angle, so this arc is 90 degrees, that over 360 has to equal the area of the sector over the area of the circle. So the measure of the arc over 360 has to equal the area of the sector over the area of the circle. And that's our common proportion that we're going to see all the way through this. And from that, we can plug in the numbers that we have and look for the ones that we don't. Okay, so the measure of the arc, or remember, that can be the central angle. The measure of the central angle over 360 equals the area of the sector over the area of the circle. So from that, we get, we know the area of the circle, whose radius is that. Okay. From that, we get our formula here. So here it is again, area of the sector over the area of the circle. That's the area of the circle. Equals the measure of the arc over 360. Okay, or the area of the sector APB. Notice how they label it, APB. They're talking about this area right here. Area of sector APB equals the measure of the arc of AB, which is the same. That's going to be the same as the measure of angle APB, which is your central angle, times over 360 times pi r squared. Okay. The other thing is, if you're looking for the radius, remember you'll have to use a square root. So let's say you have a circle whose area is 40. Okay, 40 square inches, and they want the radius. So if area equals pi r squared, 40 has to equal pi r squared. Okay, divide by pi, and you get 40 over pi equals r squared, and now you square root both sides. So your radius equals the square root of 40 over pi. So you can get a formula for that. Here, your radius is going to be the square root of your area over pi. There's your formula for the area. Okay? Your diameter is 2 times your radius, which would be 2 times the square root of the area over pi. So if you ever want the diameter, you can use this formula here to figure out your diameter. Okay, so let's finish this up. So we have the square root of 40 divided by pi. About 3.57. 57 inches. 3.57 inches. Okay? So there's several formulas. A formula for area, a formula for the radius, and a formula for the diameter. Find the indicated measure. The area of circle M. Okay? Area of circle M. So this is your diameter. So diameter equals 5, so you need your radius. Radius equals diameter divided by 2, which is 5 over 2, which is 2.5. So area equals pi times 2.5 squared. 2.5 squared times pi, about 19.63 square centimeters. Okay? So if you had a bunch of centimeters, 1 by 1 centimeters in here, you'd have between 19 and 20 of these little rectangles you can fit in here. That's what area stands for. Area of circle R, the radius is 7. So R equals pi times 7 squared, so it's going to be 49 pi. 49 pi, yes I know, 153.94 square meters. Area of a circle with a diameter of 1.8 inches. So they're not drawing us the picture anymore, but they want the area. With a diameter of 1.8 inches, you need the radius, which is diameter divided by 2. So that's 1.8 divided by 2, which is 0.9. So pi times 0.9 squared. 0.9 squared times pi. About 2.54 square inches. 2.54 square inches. They want the diameter of a circle with an area of 10 square feet. So, good thing we have a formula. They want the diameter. Diameter is 2 times the square root of a over pi, of the area divided by pi. So diameter equals 2 times the square root of the area over pi, which is 2 times the square root of 10 over pi. So 2 times the square root, 2 times the square root, wrong button there, of 10 divided by pi. Don't need that parenthesis. Okay. Now notice on here, notice how this goes all the way over. So that means 10 divided by pi is entirely inside the square root. You may want to put parentheses around that to be safe. So it would be about 3.57. 57 feet. If you want the radius, just cut that in half then. There's your radius. Okay, the radius of a circle with an area of 65 square centimeters. So the radius is the square root of a over pi. That's the square root of 65 over pi. Square root of 65 divided by pi is about 4.55. The area of a circle of radius 6.1 yards, so area equals pi r squared, which is pi times 6.1 squared. So 6.1 squared times pi, about 116.90. And that would be square yards. Okay, here comes our areas. The areas of the sectors formed by angle PQR. So they want this area in there. Of course, it's shaded. So we have the measure of the arc. So the measure of the arc over 360 has to equal the measure of, or this area of the sector, over the area of the circle. Okay, so the measure of the arc is 140 over 360, has to equal the area of the sector over pi r squared. So pi times 4 squared, which is 16. So this is going to have to be multiplied over to the other side. So the sector is going to equal 16 pi times 140 divided by 360. Okay, you're using the Z method, double pickle, cross multiply and divide, whatever works for you there. So 16 pi times 140, divide that by 360, we get 19.54 square centimeters. Okay, here they want the area of circle Y. Now they're telling us the area of the sector, and they have this angle right here. So the measure of the arc is 25 degrees over 360 equals 4.1 over the area of the circle. Okay, still do your double pickle cross multiply. So 25 times the circle, the area of the circle, equals 360 times 4.1. So the circle has to equal 360 times 4.1 divided by 25. You have to divide both sides by 25. So 360 times 4.1 divided by 25. And 59.04 square feet. Okay, you have some questions with population density. The way you do it is just in this label here, people per square mile. So your population density is going to equal the number of people divided by the area. Number of people divided by the area. Okay, they're doing the census this year. This would be something they're going to be figuring out. So about 70,000 people live in a region with a 30-mile radius. That means we have a circle. Find the population density in people per square mile. So the number of people is 70,000, and the area would be pi times 30-mile radius, 30 squared. So what's 70,000 divided by 900 pi? That's what we're going to calculate here. Divided by 900 pi. Again, I'm using parentheses, make sure that's together there. And about 25 people per square mile. Okay? You can, if they want the average, it'd be 24.75, but we know we should not have 3/4 of a person. Okay. So that should cover it. Your assignment ends with that. Okay, they have some different formulas here, like number 10, circular region with a 4-mile radius has a population density. They want the number of people who live in the region. So then you can figure out your area and just take the area times the population density. And then some composite figures here. Now, this is your 50 degree. Now remember, this is the area of the sector around here. So this measure of this arc is not 50, it'd actually be 310, 360 minus 50. Okay, and we get to some composite figures, working with those. Okay, the beginning is just kind of your basic, find the area, find the radius, find the diameter that we started with. Okay, so let me know what questions pop up. And that is it for now. Okay, I'll see you guys soon.